Philadelphia assemblies. Yeah, I heard it go make the noise. I think it got the date. Again, Shavuot. If you didn't hear us, my computer sometimes takes a while to come on. Not sure if you heard that. Again, Shalom on the Sabbath day, and welcome to the Philadelphia assemblies. Today, according to the sacred calendar as we see it, okay, it's the 22nd day of the second month of the year 5780. It's the 30th day of May 2020. And it's the 5th Sabbath and the 35th day of the Feast of Weeks, countdown to Shavuot or Pentecost, the day of Pentecost, the Omer count. So that's where we are on the sacred calendar. We're going to be starting the first book of the Chronicles, part 1, starting in verse 1. There's going to be a lot of genealogy. Going to be pronouncing a lot of different names, and I'm going to let you know right here, I'm not an expert on pronouncing these names. I do the very best I can, as some of you may be a whole lot more versed in those pronunciations. I haven't really dug into that. I just do the best I can, so forgive me where I'm in error on that, because I think it's just important to understand genealogies, but it's not, in my opinion, as important how it comes out of your mouth, okay? Because it is what it is, and we're not exactly sure on a lot of the pronunciations. Some people think they are more than maybe they really are. So we're going to go ahead and open in prayer. We're going to face towards the temple, where the temple was in Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, okay, in the east, okay, and where it's prophesied to be again. Almighty Father Yahuwah, we praise you in all things. And Father, we ask that you would protect those as we continue through this days of pandemic or this plague that's upon the whole world. We ask that you would stay that plague, Father, and protect those that are not sick, Father. And we ask that you'd heal those that are. And for those that have passed, we ask that you would give their families the peace that passes understanding. Father, help us to continue as a people, Israel, and help us to continue as the human race. Father, we ask it in your precious Son, Yahushua's name. Now, I also would ask that you would give us the words to speak and give us understanding through the Ruach HaKodesh as we go into your word, Father. Help us to understand all the things that's in your word to the best of our abilities. We ask it all in your precious Son again, in Yahushua's name. Amen. I'm contemplating all these names. So forgive me. I'm going to try not to dwell on them. I'm going to try to just do them the best I can and let it be what it is. Okay. First book of the Chronicles, chapter 1, verse 1. Adam, Seth, and Enosh. Okay. Kenan and Mahalalel. Yered, Henoch, Methuselah, Lamech, Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth. The sons of Japheth are Gomer and Magog and Mediah and Yavan and Tubal and Meshech and Tyrus, and the Ben, or sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz and Rephath and Togarma, and the Ben of Yavan, Elisha and Tarshish, Kittim and Dodadin, and the Ben of Ham was Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, and the Ben of Cush was Sheba and Havilah, which you can see it's going back to the firstborns and giving the genealogy every time. Okay, important to remember that, because firstborns were very, very important in the beginning of these genealogies. Okay, prior to and it'll always be always be important, obviously, okay? But we also know that the firstborns were traded for the tribe of Levi to create that Levitical priesthood, or the sons of Aaron, okay? And after that, we know that we're looking towards that Melchizedek priesthood that'll be in the millennial reign of our Messiah, that 1,000 years. So that's why we're going back to the firstborns every time. And the Ben of Cush, Sheba and Havilah and Sabata and Ramah and Sabticha, and the Ben of Ramah, Sheba and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. We all know who Nimrod is. He's important. He was a mighty hunter against Yahuwah. Okay? It says before in the King James, but it means against. He was not a good man. Okay? And he began to be mighty upon the earth. And Mizraim begat Ludim. And those are plural names. And Anamim and Lehabim and Naphthalim. Verse 12. And Pathrushim, or Sim, and Casluhim. And now this was added. This of whom came the Philistines. That was added. Okay, and obviously it's letting you know that these ones perpetrated, or propagated. That's the word I was looking for. The Philistines, and Caphtorim, and Canaan begat Zidon, his firstborn, and Heth. Notice they named both of those, and there's a reason for that. The Jebusite also, and Amorite, and Girgashite, and the Havite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and the Bens of Shem were Elam, and Ashura, and Arphaxad, in which this guy was another bad guy. But we know that the sons of Shem is where you get the Shemites, okay, which come from where the word anti-Semitism comes from. It's from the Shemites, okay? We know that's the lineage of our Messiah, matter of fact, but there's also good and bad come from that, okay? Arphaxad, Lud, Aram, Uz, and Hul, and Gether, and Meshech. And Arphaxad begat Shelah, and Shelah begat Eber, and to Eber was born two Ben, or sons. The name of one was Peleg. Okay, this is important scripture to remember, because in his days, Peleg's days, the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Yoktan. Okay, see, before that, all the earth, according to Genesis chapter 1, was one large landmass. Okay, and then in the days of Peleg, which the scientists would call Pangea, okay, the earth was one mass and it was all divided. Okay, so that's what is important to understand during this time period of Peleg that happened. Verse 20, and Yoktan begot Almadad, and Sheleph, and Hezemeth, and Yiran, Hodaram also, and Uzel, and Diklah, and Ebal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Yobab. All these were the Ben of Yoktan. So I named all the Ben of Yoktan, not just firstborn. Shem Arphaxad, I got it, and Shelah, and Eber, and Peleg, and Reu, Sereg, Nahor, and Terah. 27. Abram, the same is now Abraham, okay, or Avram begot Abraham, if you believe that that's the pronunciation. And that's merely like the difference of the tetragrammaton, whether it's YHVH or YHWH. Okay, that if you think his name is YHVH, then you would think Abraham and Avram were the correct pronunciation. It's just a disagreement on what letters were around during what different period of time, or pronunciations of letters. Then it says, and the ben of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael. We know about all that about Ishmael. 29, and these are their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael was Nebaioth, then Kedar, and Edbel, and Mibsham, 30, and Mishma, and Duma, Massa, Hadad, Teman, 31, Yetur, Naphish, Kedema. These are the ben of our sons of Ishmael. Verse 32. Now the ben of Keturah, Abraham's concubine, she bare Zimran and Yokshan and Medan and Midan and Ishbak and Shua, and the ben of Yokshan, Sheba and Dedan. 33. And the ben or sons of Midian, Ephah and Epher and Henoch and Abda and Elda. All these are the ben or sons of Keturah. Verse 34, and Abraham begot Isaac, the son of Isaac, Esau, and Israel. Now, we know his name was Jacob, okay, at birth, but his name was changed to Israel, okay. Verse 35, the sons are ben of Esau, Eliphaz, Ruel, and Yeush, and Yalam, and Korah. 36, the ben of Eliphaz, Teman, and Omar, Zephi, and Getam, and Kenaz, and Timnah, and Amalek. Remember that name, Amalek. You're going to hear that a lot. Verse 37, the ben of Ruel, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. 38, and the ben of Seir, Lotan, and Shobal, and Zibion, and Anah, and Dishon, and Ezer, and Dishan. And the ben or sons of Lotan, Hori, and Homan, and Timnah was Lotan's sister. Now, obviously, she's named here for a reason. This is the first time you've seen a female named in the lineage here. The ben of Shobal, Elion, and Manahath, and Ebal, and Shephi, and Onam, and the ben of Zebion, Aiah, and Anah. 41, the sons of Anah, Dishon, and the ben of Dishon, Amram, and Eshban, and Ithran, and Chiran. Verse 42, the ben of Ezer, Bilhan, and Zavan, and Yakan, the ben of Dishan, Uz, and Aram. Verse 43, now these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the ben of Israel: Bela, the son of Beor, And the name of his city was Dinhabah. Verse 44, and when Bela was dead, Jobab, the son of Zerah of Bozrah, reigned in his stead, or in his place. Verse 45, and when Joab was dead, Husham of the land of the Temanites reigned in his place or stead. Verse 46, and when Husham was dead, Hadad, the son of Bedad, which killed or defeated Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead, and the name of his city was Avith. 47, and when Hadad was dead, Samlah of Masrekah reigned in his stead. Verse 48, and when Samlah was dead, Shaul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead. And when Baal Hananah, or right. Baal
49.
Okay, I left out 49, I'm sorry. Verse 49, and when Shaul was dead, Baal Hanan, the son of Achbar, reigned in his stead. Now, that word Baal right there means Lord, okay? That's the first time you see it pop up directly in the lineage. Okay. Verse 50, and when Baal Hanna then was dead, Hadadad reigned in his stead. And the name of his city was Pai, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, and the daughter of Mezahab. So it's telling you now the women, but that's telling you how these two groups are coming together, okay, or intermarrying. Hadad died also, and the dukes or the chiefs of Edom were I'm just say chief, Timnah, because I think that fits better on a tribe than dukes do. That's more of an old English adage. Timnah, chief Elon, and chief Yetheth, and chief Ahalibmah, and chief Elah, and chief Pinon. Verse 53, chief Kenaz, chief Teman, and chief Mibzar, and chief Migdali, and chief Iram. These are the chiefs of Edom, okay? The land of Edom, where we hear now people calling people Edomites, okay? Verse chapter 2, these are the men of Israel, the sons of Israel, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Yehuda, Issachar, and Zebulun. Okay? If I can get the page to turn here, that's why the break. That's not at all that is of Israel. Dan, Joseph, which we need to know gets split into two tribes. And Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, the sons of Yehuda, and Onan, and Shelah, which three were born unto him of the daughter of Shula, the Canaanites. Shula, the Canaanitess. So she was of Canaanite descent, as was Abraham. And the firstborn of Yehuda, was evil in the sight of Yahuwah, and he slew him. Okay? And Tamar, his daughter-in-law, bare Pharez and Zerah. All the ben of Yehuda were 5. So there were 5 of those sons, or ben of Yehuda. Verse 5. The sons of Pharez, Hezron, and Hamul. Verse 6, and the sons or bens of Zerah were Zimri, and Ethan, and Heman, and Calco, and Dara, 5 of them in all, or Again, 5. Verse 7, and the Ben of Carmi, HR, the troubler of Israel, who transgressed in the thing accursed. Verse 8, and the Ben of Ethan, Azariah, the sons also of Hezron, or Ben of Hezron, that were born unto him, Yireh, Miel, and Ram, and Chilabah. Verse 10, and Ram begat Amminadab, and Amminadab begot Nahshon, prince of the sons of Yehuda. Okay, so he was like the in line to be a chief. Okay, he was the prince of the sons of Yehuda. Verse 11, and Nahshon begot Salma, and Salma begot Boaz. We all know who Boaz is and how important he is in the lineage towards our Messiah. And Boaz begot Obed, and Obed begot Jesse, or Yesse, which would have been the father of David or David. Okay, so marching right down through this genealogy. And Jesse begat his firstborn Elab, and Abinadab, get it right. The second Shimea, the third Nathaniel, fourth Radadiah, the fifth Ozim, the sixth, and David, the seventh. Here's where all your ideas of the seventh son. There have been songs written about the seventh son and all kinds of things. But David was the seventh son. Verse 6, whose sisters were Zeruiah and Abigail. And the Ben of Zeruiah, her sons, were Abishaiah. So anybody tells you that the females aren't important in the lineages, they need to read their book a little more. Okay? And Joab and Asael, 3. And Abigail bare Amasa. And the father of Amasa was Yether, the Ishmaelite. See how that these bloods are all, lines are intermingled. And Caleb, you know who Caleb is, okay? His father was a Kenizzite. Okay, we read that earlier in Samuel, in the book of Samuel. And he was also of the tribe of can't think. My brain's stumped. Maybe it'll come to me in a minute, huh? Ephraimite. He was of the Ephraimite tribe, or he lived in the land of anyway. So we know his dad was a Kenizzite, and he was born at least in the area of that tribe. Okay, get back into line here. And Caleb the son of Hezron begot sons of Azabah his wife, and of Yeroth her Ben, and there Yeser and Shobab and Ardan. And when Azabah was dead, Caleb took unto him Ephrath, which bare him and Ur begot Uri, and Uri begot Bezalel. Verse 21, and afterward Hezron went into the daughter of Machir, the father of Gilead, whom he married when he was 60 years old, and she bare him Segub. And Segub begot Yair, who had 23 cities, or 23 cities in the land of Gilead. Verse 23, and he took Jesher and Aram with the towns of Yair, from them with Keneth and the towns thereof, even 60 cities. All these belong to the son, or the Ben of Machir, the father of Gilead. 24. And after that, Hezron was dead in Caleb Ephratah. Then Abiah, Hezron's wife, bare him Asher, the father of Tekoa. Verse 25. And the ben of Yerahmeel, the first of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn of Bunah, and Oren, and Ozim, and Ahiah. Verse 26, and Yerahmeel had also another wife, whose name was Atara. She was the mother of Onan. Okay? I know this puts people to sleep. 27, and the ben of Ram, the firstborn of Yerahmeel, were Maaz, and Yaman, and Eker. And the ben of Onan was Shammai, and Yada. The sons were the ben of Shammai, Nadab, and Abishur. And the name of the wife of Abishur was Abihiah, or Abihail, I get it right. And she bare him Aban and Molid. And the ben of Nadab, Seled and Appaim. But Seled died without sons, without ben. Verse 31, and the ben of Appaim, Ishi, and the ben of Ishi, Shishan, and the ben of Shishan, Ahila. 32, and the ben of Yada, the brother of Shammai, Yether, and Jonathan, and Yether died without sons or ben. Verse 33, and the ben of Jonathan, Peleth, and Zazah. These were the ben of Yerahmeel. Meiel. I can't get that one. Sorry, I tried. Verse 34, now Shishan had no sons or ben, but only daughters. And Shishan had a servant, and an Egyptian whose name was Yarha. Yarha. Got it. 35. And Shishan gave his daughter to Yarha, his servant, to marry, and she bare him at Attiah. Verse 36, and Attiah begat Nathan, and Nathan begat Zabad, and Zabad begat Ephel, and Ephel begat Obed, and Obed begat Yehu, and Yehu begat Azariah, and Azariah begot Helez, and Helez begot Elisha. And verse 41, and Elisha begot Shimei, whatever, I can't get it. And Shemaiah, whatever, begot Shulam, and Shulam begot Yekamiah, and Yekamiah begot Elishama. Now the sons of Caleb, the brother of Yerahmeel, Mesha, his firstborn, which was the father of Ziph, and the ben of Meshiah, the father of Hebron. 43, and the ben of Hebron, Korah, and Tappuah, and Rechem, and Shema. Verse 44, and Shema begot Reham, and the father of Yarkama, and Rechem begot Shemaiah, and the ben of Shemaiah was Maon, and Maon was the father of Bethzur. 46, and Ephah Caleb's concubine bare Haran and Moza and Gazes, and Haran begot Gazes. And the ben of Yediah, Regem, and Jotham, and Jesham, and Pelet, and Ephah, and Sheaph. 48. And Maachah, Caleb's concubine, bare Sheber and Tarhana, and she bare also Sheaph, the father of Madmana, Sheba, the father of Machbenah, and the father of Gibeah, and the daughter of Caleb was Achish. Notice how more and more the female are being mentioned as they're tying these different tribes together in the lineage. That's why it's probably futile to try to say any one tribe is pure. That there's no way, not Levi, not any of them. They married people in other tribes and of other nations, Canaanites, Philistines, all kinds of things. Okay, we've read all that. And it's just the way that it is. These are the ben of Caleb, the son of Hur, the firstborn of Ephratah. Shobal, the father of Kirjath, or Karhath, Hearim. 51, Salemah, the father of Bethlehem. Haraph, the father of Bethgarder. 52, and Shobal, the father of Kirhath, Harim, and had been Harioah, and half of the Manathathites. 53, and the families of Kirhatharim, the Itharites, and the Puhites, and the Shumathites, and the Mishrites. Of them came the Zerathites, and the Ishtaulites. See, I definitely know I slayed some of those. It's pretty tough for me. 54, the ben of Salma, Bethlehem, and Netophilites, the Adaroth, the house of Joab, and half of the Manathites, and the Zorites, and the families of the scribes which dealt at Jabez, or dwelt or lived at Jabez, and Tirathites, the Shimathites, and the Shushathites. These are the Kenites. See that I was talking about earlier, the Kenites, which again, we know that Caleb's father was a Kenite, okay? That came of Hemath, the father of the house of Rechab. I know not many people want to jump into these, and they're very difficult to pronounce, but if you could link all these together, you'd get a better understanding. The genealogy of Israel is mixed. It's mixed. It's mixed all the way down through time, okay? And it is important who the female half of it is, because that's how some of these tribes are being linked together, okay? And sometimes they didn't have sons. They didn't just X out that thing. They carried it on and came back again through the daughters, okay? So it just can't, build a doctrine on one tribe or any of the tribes separately. Chapter 3. Okay. Now these were the ben of Dawid, which were born unto him in Hebron. The firstborn Amnon of Hinoam, the Jezreites, the second Daniel of Abigail, the Carmelist, whatever, from Carmi. The third Absalom, the son of Machiah, the daughter of Telmiah, king of Geshur. The fourth Adoniah. It's not Adonijah, it's Adoniah. And we know Ananiah means master. Okay? Kind of like the word Lord, but it means master. The son of Haggith. The third, verse 3, the fifth son of Dawood was Shephatiah of Abital. The sixth, Ithream by Eglah, his wife. So it wasn't a concubine, but a wife. This one was of a wife. Verse 4, these six were born unto him in Hebron. So that's where he was at first. And there he reigned 7 years and 6 months in Jerusalem. He reigned 33 years. Okay? So you have to add the total up to get his total reign. And these were born unto him in Jerusalem, Shimei and Shobab and Nathan and Solomon. Four of Bathshua, the daughter of Amiel. Verse 6, Ibahar, also in Elishama, and Eliphilet. Verse 7, and Nogah, and Nepheg, and Haphiah, and Elishama, and Eliada, and Eliphilet. 9. So the total of those were 9. Verse 9, these were the ben of Dawood beside the ben of the concubines and Tamar their sister. So he had others that's not included in this as well. And Solomon, son of Rehoboam, Abii, his ben, Asa, his son, Jehoshaphat, his son, Joram, his son, Ahijah, his son, Joash, his son, or Ben. Verse 12, and Amaziah, his son, and Azariah, his son, or Ben, Jotham, his Ben. Verse 13, Ahaz, his Ben, Hezekiah, his Ben, Manasseh, his Ben, and Amon, his Ben, Josiah, his Ben. And the Ben of Josiah were the firstborn of Johanan, the second Jehoiakim, and the third Zedekiah, the fourth Shalom, 16, the Ben of Jehoiakim, Jeconiah, his son, Zedekiah, his son, and the Ben of Jeconiah as Sir Salah, I'm going to get this right, Salathiel, his Ben. Verse 18, and Malchiram, also Pedadiah, and Shenazar, Yechemiah, Hashema, and Nedabiah. 19. And the Ben of Pedadiah were Zerubbabel, I know that name, and Shimei, and the Ben of Zerubbabel, Meshullam, and Hananiah, and Shelomith, their sister. Notice she gets mentioned in this. Verse 20, and Hashubah, and Ohel, and Berechiah, and Hashadiah, Yusheb, 5. So that means there was a total of 5. And the ben of Hananiah, Pelatiah, and Yesiah, the ben of Rephaiah, the ben of Arnan, the ben of Obadiah, the ben of Shechaniah, verse 22, the ben of Shechaniah, Shemaiah, the ben of Shemaiah, Hatatish, and Igel, and Bariah, and Neariah, and Shaphats, and that was a total of 6. Verse 23, and the ben of Neariah, Elioniah, I got that wrong, and Hezekiah, and Azrikam, and that was a total of 3. And the son, or the ben of Elioe, Naiah, were Hadiah, and Elishib, and Peliah, and Akub, and Johan, and Deliah, and Ananiah, 7, for a total of 7. Chapter 4, and the carnage continues. Killing these names. Okay, and the ben of Yehuda, Pharez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal, and Reiah, the ben of Shobal, begot Hahath, and Hahath begat Ahumiah, and Lahad. These are the families of the Zorathites. And these were the father of Edom, Jezreel, and Ishmael, and Ibash, and the names of their sisters was Hazeliah Ponai. Not going to try that again. Verse 4, and Penuel, the father of Gedor, and Ezer, the father of Hushai, these are the ben of Hur, the firstborn of Ephratah, the father of Bethlehem, and Usher, the father of Tekoa, had 2 wives, Helah and Naarah. And Naarah bare him Ahuzam, and Hefer, and Enai, and this is a tough one too, Terai. These were the ben of Naarah. And the sons of Helah were Zereth, and Yezoar, and Ethnan. Verse 8, and Kaz begot Anub, and Zobibah, and the families of Haharhel, the ben of Haram, 9. And Jabez was more honorable, than his brethren, and his mother called his name Jabez, saying, because I bear him with sorrow. Verse 10, and Jabez called on the Elohim of Israel, saying, oh, that thou wouldest bless me indeed, and enlarge my territory, and that thine hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that it may not grieve me. And Elohim granted him that which he requested. And Chelub, the brother of Shua, begat Mihar, which was the father of Eshton, and Eshton begat Beth-Rephath, and Pesha, and Tehinnah, the father of Ernahash. These are the men of Recha. And the ben of Kenaz, Othaniel, and Sariah, and the ben of Othanel, Hathath, and Meonothaiah begot Ophir, and Sariah begot Joab, the father of the valley of Charshim, for they were craftsmen. They did goldsmithing or different crafts. Verse 15, and the ben of Caleb, see here we are with this Kenzanite lineage that we're talking about again, and we're talking about Caleb. Okay, Othaniel, and here the son of Kenaz, which makes him a Kenzanite. Okay, and the Menah begat Ophir, and Shariah begat Joab, and the father of the valley down here, and the ben of Caleb, the son of Yefunanu, Ir, Elah, and Naam, and the ben of Elah, even Kenaz. Okay, and the sons of Jehiel, Ziphah, Tyra, and Asa, or Asariel, or Azriel. I'll get it right. That's it, Azriel. Verse 17, and the ben of Ezra were Yether, and Mered, and Epher, and Yalon, and she bare Miriam, and Shammai, and Ishbah, the father of the Ishtimoah. Verse 18, and his wife Yehudayah bare Yered, the father of Gedor, and Heber, the father of Shocho, and Yekuthiel, the father of Zoniah. And these are the sons, or ben, of Bithiah, the daughter of Pharaoh, which Mered took. So you see, here's even Pharaoh's lineage again, interwoven into Israel. And the ben of his wife, Hodiah, or the son of his wife, Hodiah, the sister of Naham, the father of Keilah, the Germite, and Ishtimoah, the Machemite. Verse 20, and the sons of Shimon were Ammon, and Reniah, and Benhanan, and Tilnon. And the sons, or ben of Ishi, were Zoheth and Ben-Zoheth. Verse 21, the sons of Shelah, the son of Yehuda, were the father of Lecha, and Leada, the father of Mirashiah, and the families of the house of them that wrought fine linen of the house of Ashbia. Verse 22, and Jocham, the men of Chozeba, and Joash, and Seraph were who had the dominion in Moed, and Yeshubbalim, and these are ancient records. Ancient records. It says ancient things in the King James, but these are all ancient records. Verse 23, these were the potters, and those that dwelt among plants and hedges. There they dwelt with the king of his work. Verse 24, the ben of Simeon were Emul and Yamin, Yarib, Zerah, and Shaul. Okay, it's the same name as Paul, okay, in the New Testament. It's Shaul. Verse 25, Shulaman, his ben, Mibsham, his ben, Mishma, his ben, or son. Verse 26, the sons of Mishma, Hamuel, his ben, Zachar, his ben, Shimei, his ben, and Shimei had 16 sons and 6 daughters. But his brethren had not many children, neither did all their family multiply like to the children of Yehudah. And they dwelt at Beersheba and Moladah and Hazar Shula. Verse 29, and Bilhai and Ezem and at Tolad and at Bethuel and at Hormah and at Ziklag. Verse 31, and at Bethmar Chabath and Hazar Shusim and at Beth Bai and at She'arim. These were their cities unto the reign of King David, or David. And their villages were Edom, and Ain, and Rimmon, and Tochin, and Ashan, 5 cities. 33, and all the villages that were round about the same cities unto Baal, or unto the Lord. Okay? These were their abominations. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said abominations. These were their settlements, habitations, or settlements, and their genealogy. Okay? Correct that. Wasn't no abominations at all, and that these was their territory, or their settlements. Verse 34, and Meshobab, and Yamlich, and Yoshe, the ben of Amaziah, 35, and Yoel, and Yehu, the ben of Yoshabiah, the ben of Sariah, the ben of Asiel, 36, and Elioina, and Yachobah, and Yeshiah, and Asaiah, and Adiel, and Yishmael, and Benaniah, verse 37, and Ziza, the ben of Shiphi, the ben of Elon, the ben of Yedidiah, the son or ben of Shimei, the ben of Shemaiah, verse 38. These mentioned by their names were leaders or princes in their families, and the house of their fathers increased greatly. Okay, the ones that are named. Now that doesn't mean necessarily in numbers, but their stature, their power increased greatly. Verse 39, and they went to the entrance of Gedor, even unto the east side of the valley, to seek pasture for their flocks. Thank God we're getting to some text here. And they found fat pasture, or rich pasture, and good, and the land was wide and quiet and peaceable, for they of Ham had dwelt there of old, the family of Ham. We know that was one of the sons of Noah. Okay. Okay, verse 41. And these were written by the name in the days of Hezekiah, king of Yehuda, and smote their and attacked. Okay, let's just say attacked their tents and the habitations that were found there, and destroyed them utterly unto this day, the day the book is written, and dwelt in their places, because there was pasture there for their flocks. And some of them, even the sons of Simeon, 500 men, went to Mount Seir, having for their captains Pelatiah, I'll get it right, and Neariah, and Rephiah, and Uzziel, the ben of Ishi. Verse 43, and they destroyed the rest of the Amalekites that were escaped and dwelt there until this day. Okay, one more chapter. Now the ben of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel. Now this is added, okay, all the way down through verse 2. This was added to describe, okay, it's part of scripture, but it was added. For he was the firstborn, but for as much as he defiled his father's bed, okay, we know that what he did, he slept with one of his wives, Jacob's wives. His birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph. And that's why, not only was there one tribe of Joseph, there ends up two. Okay, Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay, they get split. But Joseph, we know the story of Joseph, and we know how well he did. Okay, so we know, so his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph. That's what that's talking about, Ephraim and Manasseh, the sons of Israel. And the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. Okay, there's a difference between birthright and genealogy. Genealogy straight up who's born and who begot who. Okay, and a birthright is something that can be exchanged. We know that because that happened a couple of times. Esau traded his birthright. Okay, verse 2. For Yehuda prevailed above his brethren. Of him came the chief ruler, but the birthright was Joseph's. Okay? So even though all of that, the birthright still goes to Joseph, even though Yehuda prevailed above his brothers. And we know our Messiah comes from Yehuda. So there's things to be learned from this, okay? Verse 3. The ben, I say, of Reuben, the firstborn of the Israel, were Hanoch and Palu, and Hezron, and Carmi. And the ben of Joel, Shemariah, his son Gog, his son Shimi, his son Michael, his son Reiah, his ben Baal, his son. Okay, so again, the Lord, Baal. You might wonder where all this comes from. It's in the genealogy, huh?
Verse.
What verse? That was verse 5, chapter 5. Okay, Michael, his son, Reiah, his son, Baal, his son. Okay, Beerah, his son, whom Tilgath-Pilneser, king of Assyria, carried away captive. He was prince of the Reubenites, or the head of the tribe of Reuben. Verse 7. And his brethren by their families, when the genealogy of their generations were reckoned, were the chief Yeiel and Zechariah. Verse 8. And Bela, the ben of Azaz, the ben of Shema, the ben of Joel, who dwelt in even unto Nebo and Baal Meon. Verse 9. And eastward he inhabited into the entering in of the wilderness from the river Euphrates, because their cattle were increased in the land of Gilead. And in the days of Saul, they made war with the Hagarites, who fell by their hand, and they dwelt in their tents throughout all the east land of Gilead. And the Ben of Gad dwelt dwelt opposite them in the land of Bashan unto Salcha. 12. Yoel the chief, and Shapham the next, and Yeaniah and Shaphat in Bashan. That's where they dwell, was in Bashan. Verse 13, and their brethren of the house of their fathers was Michal, and Meshulam, and Sheba, and Yoriah, and Yachin, and Ziah, and Heber, 7. These are the sons of Abihail, the son of Hurai, the son of Yerah, the son of Gilead, the son of Michal, the son of Yeshishiah, the son of Yado, and the son of Buz. Now you see why people usually don't go through these genealogies. They're so hard to pronounce. And I don't know how they kept all that back then, but they spoke a completely different tongue. That's why. 15. Ahai, the Ben of Abadiel, the son of Gunai, chief of the house of their fathers, and they dwelt in Gilead in Bashan, and in her towns, and in all the suburbs of Sharon, upon their borders. All these were reckoned by the genealogies in the days of Jotham, king of Yehudim, and in the days of Jeroboam, king of Israel. So we know the time period they're talking about Jeroboam, and this is the one that caused Israel to sin by, keeping another feast, and other than the Feast of Tabernacles, and making the 2 golden calves. Verse 18, the sons of Reuben and the Gadites, and half the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men able to bear brave and sword. Bear shield and sword, and to shoot with bow, and skillful in war, were 44,000, or 44,760 that went out to the war. And they made war with the Hagarites, with the Yetur, and Nephish, and Nodab. Verse 20, and they were helped against them, and the Hagarites were delivered into their hand, and all that were with them, for they cried to Elohim in the battle, and he answered them, because they put their trust in him, Elohim. 21, and they took away their cattle of and their cattle of their camels, 50,000. Of the sheep, 250,000. And of the donkeys, 2,000. And of men, 100,000. 22, for there fell down many slain, because the war was of Elohim, and they dwelt in their places until the captivity. And the Ben of the half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. They increased from Bashan to Baal Hermon and Sinai, and unto Mount Hermon. 24. And these were the heads of the houses of their fathers, even Ephor and Ishi and Eliel and Azrael and Jeremiah and Hodaviah and Yadiel, mighty men of valor, famous men, and heads of the house of their fathers. And they transgressed against the Elohim of their fathers and played the harlot, okay, after the God, or after the Elohim of the people of the land, whom Elohim destroyed before them. Okay, so they went after other Elohim. That's what the word gods is there with a little g in your King James. So, see, this is why it's so confusing, and why they did all this to confuse, but also to set their own doctrine. Okay, and the people that wrote the King James Bible. Okay, it says, and they transgressed against the Elohim of their fathers, which is the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, and went and played the harlot, okay, after other Elohim of the people of the land, whom Elohim, the Elohim of Israel, destroyed before them. And the Elohim of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tilgath-Pilneser, king of Assyria. So he changed his attitude, made him want to go to war. That's what he meant by stirred up his spirit. Okay, and he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them to Halah and Haber and Haray and to the river Gozan unto this day. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop it right there. We'll start here next week. Okay, still got a lot of lineage and everything going even next week. This is the way Chronicles starts out. Okay, it'll get into more detail as we go along. But anyway, may Yahuwah bless until we meet again. And if you get the opportunity, take the opportunity. Not if you get the opportunity, go back to YouTube and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up and hit the little bell so that it'll tell you when our next video comes out. And again, may Yahuwah bless till we meet again.